On August 15th, 1988, a boy was born in a small municipality in eastern Serbia named Boljevac. The city is home to just around 3,300 people, and this boy would turn out to be the most known person to come out of it. The boy we're talking about is none other than the 7'4" Boban Marjanovic. Boban Marjanovic is one of the most likable guys in the NBA. Ever since his arrival, the Serbian giant has been capturing the hearts of both the fans and his teammates due to his amazing energy and personality. Boban is a genuinely nice guy who's living his dream life. So, let's dig into some info about how Boban was brought up and what he's been up to besides basketball. First things first, Boban Marjanovic's parents aren't giants. They're just ordinary people of ordinary height. His mom is 5'6" and his dad is 5'9". Boban likely suffered from a pituitary gland condition which led to his gigantism. There's no solid evidence to support this, however, you can tell that Boban is not a typical giant from his facial features. Boban was raised in a small city in Serbia and started playing basketball at an early age for a local team named Rataj. Boban lived in Boljevac until the age of 14. By then, he had already grown big and was 6'10", which was enough for basketball club Hemofarm to give him a chance and invite them to their squad. Boban Marjanovic has always given more than just size, as he showed his soft touch and basketball IQ all the way back in the youngest competitions. Boban made his debut in the Adriatic League during the 2005-2006 season with Hemofarm. In 2007, he played half a season with Swiss Lion Takovo on a loan, and after that he returned to Hemofarm. In the meantime, he represented Serbia in the U18, U19, and U20 international competitions, while playing for Serbia and Montenegro in the 2007 U19 World Championship. Boban was one of the key players in the squad that won the gold medal. If this accomplishment wasn't enough, the following year, Boban was part of another squad that won gold, this time in the U20 European Championship. Unlike most players that led their youth national teams in big competitions, Boban didn't get an offer to sign somewhere big. It was the opposite. Boban had a slow start to his career, but the 2009-10 season is a very important part of his career, as this was the season that made him known outside the basketball borders of Serbia. He played for Hemofarm again, and even though he didn't get consistent minutes, he used those that he got to the absolute maximum. Boban had some amazing games, like the one against Soroki where he finished with 21 points and 15 rebounds in a win, or against Tamas, when he finished with 23 and 17 in yet another win. His highest scoring game was against Cibona, who were a EuroLeague squad at the time. Boban finished the game with 30 points and 11 rebounds, but his efforts weren't enough to get an upset win, with the game ending 94-96 in favor of Cibona. His performances in the 2009-10 season caught the eye of the legendary Serbian coach Duško Vujošević, who insisted on signing Boban Marjanovic to CSKA Moscow. Boban signed a 3-year deal with CSKA. CSKA Moscow were a basketball powerhouse in Europe, but they had a difficult season in the EuroLeague and were eliminated in the first round of the 2010-11 season. So Coach Vujošević and the club's board decided to part ways. Boban didn't do so well in the 8 games he played in the EuroLeague, playing just 11 minutes and averaging around 4.3 points and 3.5 rebounds, so the club wasn't very keen on keeping him. Boban was loaned to Žalgiris in Lithuania in January 2011, where he had basically the same role, playing 12 minutes per game and averaging around 5 points and 3.5 rebounds. In the summer of 2011, Boban returned to Russia, but this time he played for Nizhny Novgorod. He stayed there for half a season and returned to Serbia, signing with Radnički Kragujevac. In the 2012-13 season, Boban played for his 6th team in his career, Mega Vizura, and had a great campaign. He was named the MVP of the Serbian League, and his amazing performances earned him a deal with Serbia's top basketball team, Red Star. As a Red Star player, Boban became a top name in Europe. He had amazing games left and right, finishing with double-doubles, leading his team to upset victories over Europe's top squads. While playing for Red Star, Boban was named the EuroLeague MVP of the round for Round 10 in 2013, and later that season, he was selected for the ideal team for the 2013-14 ABA League season. In the first game of the 2014-15 EuroLeague season, Boban finished the game with 22 points and 10 rebounds in a win against Galatasaray, and was named the MVP of Round 1. In November 2014, he had another great game against Galatasaray again, finishing with 23 points and a career-high 17 rebounds. But unfortunately, Red Star lost the game in double overtime. His 17 boards were the highest number of rebounds by any player since the 2011-12 season. In April, Boban set a new record by grabbing 256 rebounds in a single season, the highest since the 2000-2001 season. He also set a new double-double record, passing Tanoka Beard's 14 with his 16 double-double performances in the 2014-15 season. He finished the EuroLeague season with career-high averages of 16.6 points, league-leading 10.7 rebounds, and a 25.67 PIR, highest since the 2000-2001 season. His performances were enough to earn him a spot in the All-EuroLeague first team. In the Adriatic League, Boban dominated even more. He was selected for the ideal team yet again, and this time he led Red Star to the 2014-15 ABA League trophy, being named the MVP of the ABA League playoffs. If all of this wasn't enough, Boban won the Serbian Super League MVP for the third time in a row, leading Red Star to a 13-1 season record and a 3-0 series victory in the finals against city rivals Partizan. A little-known fact about Boban is that he actually played the final series with a fractured foot because he didn't want to let his team down in the finals, especially not against bitter rivals Partizan. The Red Star-Partizan rivalry has no NBA equivalent. It's a brawl, literally. So Boban, being the competitor that he is, had to play in the finals to get the win over Partizan, risking the biggest contract in his career so far. Where did he go after that? Stay tuned to find out. So, at the end of the 2015 season, Boban is officially an All-EuroLeague first-team member, rebounding leader, Serbian League champion, Adriatic League champion, Serbian League MVP, Adriatic League playoffs MVP, and an All-ABA League first-team member. He's also a 2011 Lithuanian League and Cup winner, a Baltic League winner, and a Lithuanian League All-Star. So, it was time for Boban to take the next step in his career. Being an underdog for almost his entire career, the success Boban achieved came out of nowhere. He gained huge popularity, but also respect amongst his peers in Europe. But as we all know, Boban is a competitor who likes to be challenged. So in the summer of 2015, Boban signed a one-year, $1.2 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. This was the biggest move of his career so far as a then 27-year-old. Since the 2015-16 season, Boban has played for 6 different NBA teams, being signed more for his locker room presence and great energy than his productivity on the floor. Not to be misunderstood, Boban has had great games in the NBA, but he just hasn't been a leader of his teams like he was for Red Star in his last seasons in Europe. The highest minutes per game average Boban has played is 13.9 during his time on the 76ers. Since his first arrival in the NBA, Boban's been signed on 3 NBA contracts in his career for a total of around $36 million and has a net worth from around $8 to $28 million. Boban's big frame and positive energy have made him a very popular guy in the US. His popularity transferred to the cinematic world as well, as he's appeared in 4 movies, being most known for having a guest role in John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. Boban's status has earned him plenty of endorsement deals as well from companies like Nike, Big Blanket Company, Goldfish, State Farm, and Chime. Even though Boban has made a fortune during his time in the NBA, he doesn't seem to spend much of it. Besides traveling to exotic destinations with his longtime girlfriend, now wife, Milica Kristic, and 2 sons Vuk and Petar, Boban doesn't spend much of his money, at least not on flashy stuff known for the public. Boban owns a home on Manhattan Beach in California from back when he was playing on the Clippers, and also one in Dallas. As for a vehicle, while Boban has been spotted in many of them, he seems to own multiple cars: a Jeep Wrangler, a Tesla Model S, a Range Rover, and a Lamborghini Urus. Boban seems to dress well, but he doesn't look like a guy who spends a fortune on clothing. Besides the houses and cars, Boban seems like he doesn't spend most of his earnings and is wise with his money. He said that after his playing career is over, he wants to return to Serbia, but it's unknown if he has land there or not. Another thing that's important for Boban is diet. He takes his diet very seriously and eats 4 carefully planned meals a day that support his massive frame. He enjoys eating soup a lot and has admitted to having a sweet tooth, not being able to finish a meal without having a really good dessert after it. Interestingly enough, he doesn't like cake, and would rather go with a piece of candy, crepes, some apple cobbler, or dark chocolate. For someone who's 7'3" and 290 pounds, you'd expect him to have a different diet than a regular human being. But Bobby just seems like the rest of us. So that's around it. A rich European basketball portfolio, great success with the Serbian national team, and an 8-year career in the NBA are all part of Boban's journey from a kid in Boljevac to the biggest stages in the world. The gentle giant has made a name for himself both in the NBA and the EuroLeague, and with his amazing personality, there's no doubt that we'll continue watching him even after his playing days are done.